Hi there, it's Marguerite, and I'm here to help some of my friends and you learn Cantonese. So today we're going to be talking about numbers, and I'd like to start with a number. Usually if you've had any contact with Chinese or Chinese culture, you're probably going to know like yet, yi, sam, and so on, 1, 2, 3, and up to like 10. But I'd like to start with the number 0. So 0, which actually can be written quite complicatedly in Chinese, most people just use it a 0. 0 is leng, leng. And you can think of it as Ling, or the Yale and China way to write it is Lihng, with the H denoting like the low tone. So if you want to get really technical, it's like the low falling tone, but just think of it like leng. And you can also think of junk food because junk food is leng sek. Sek is eat, leng is 0, so it's like you're eating nothing. Or, junk food's not very nutritionally satisfying, although it's satisfying in a lot of other ways. So leng sek is junk food. So leng is 0. Like I said before, the yet, yi, sam is, you can even write it because it's simple. The yet is a line, and in Yale and China, again, it's YAT. It's like the highest tone, so it's kind of easy to go from the leng to the yet. It's kind of an easy thing to remember. Leng yet, and then the yi goes back down. So that's kind of good too. Leng yet, yi. And you can write that too. It's the, a shorter line and then a longer line on the bottom. Leng yet, yi. Sam. Sam goes straight back up to the top, and you can write it as well. It's a longish line, a shorter one, and then a long line at the bottom, and that is leng yet yi sam. Sam with the double A for the Yale and China is kind of like a longer sam, not like sam, I guess, but just like a longer sam. So you've got leng yet yi sam, and then we come to kind of an important word number, which is the say. Okay, that's not supposed to be touching that side, so I'm going to erase that a little bit. Oh yeah, I guess it can be. I don't know. Say. Say is 4, and it's written SEI. Y is 4, so I wouldn't say it's important, but it's super unlucky. And I think if you, again, have any contact at all with Chinese culture or with Chinese people, you know that 4 is super unlucky. I'm going to write that again because it's like kind of not that good. Da, da, da. The 4 character. So 4 is super unlucky to the point where if you're in a hotel or a building, office building, there's no floor 4 or 14 or 24 or 34 or 44. So all the 4s get knocked out, kind of like 13's unlucky in Western culture. 4 is super unlucky because why? It sounds like the character for death. So it sounds like it. It's not the same character, but it sounds enough like it. The character for death is say, a little bit rising, that mid-rising tone, say, and this is say. So basically they sound the same, and if you're talking, I shouldn't say that. They're different, yes, but they always say there's 9 tones in Cantonese and it's really hard to speak, and that's true to a point, but don't let that, when I first started learning to speak Chinese, it was like, you're never going to learn, it's so hard, there's 9 tones, blah, blah, blah. But just keep going because I think you can knock down. They say 9, but seriously, no. You can get away with speaking a lot fewer than that and still get people saying that you speak really, really well. So, not to say that you shouldn't strive to be perfect, of course, but it gets a bit ridiculous when. Well, anyway, just okay. We'll move on. So we got leng, yet, yi, sam, say. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we've got 5, which is it's kind of like that Chinese last name NG, which is always super hard to pronounce, and it doesn't sound like anything coming out because it's not. It's just kind of like swallowed that with the H. H in Yale and China, if I didn't say it before, denotes that low tone. So and to write it is pretty simple as well. You have a line, you have another line, another one, and dong. That's the lo. Lo is 6, and the lo is Luhk. It's been a really long time since I've written the pinyin, but lo is 6, and it's easy as well. You have a little tick, and then that, and then that. Lo. If you play mahjong with a Chinese set, you're going to know all these numbers because they're on the manzi. So you have yaman, yiman, saman, seiman. So you got lo. Tat is 7, and it goes right back up to the top. So the tat, Chat, tat, and yep, they have a little mark. Tat. And the 7 is just, I probably did the stroke order wrong. I think it should be like that, and then the stroke order goes backwards. But tat, it looks like a T, kind of a small English T. And then you've got bat. And look, tat bat. This is another really super important letter in Chinese because it's super lucky to have bat. And why is that? Because it sounds a lot like the faat. But the bat is just like 2 legs, the bat. Kind of like the inside of the 4, bat. And then you've got gao. Gao is, let's see, is it that way first? I think so. Gao. Gao is 9. And it's like mid-rising. Gao. And then you have sup, 10. Sup is easy. It's just a cross. Sup. And you write it like S-A-H-P, right? Yep, I'm right. S-A-H-P, another low tone. So let's go over these again, just so you can hear them. And it's kind of cool, the different tones. This is a really good, saying the numbers is actually good in practicing the tones because they're all over the place. But they also go from like high, low, high, low. So it's ling, yat, yi, sam, say, lo, tat, bat, gao, sa. So say that 10 times and you'll be really good with some of the tones. And let's see, what else can I say about this? The hand signals for numbers. Maybe we'll do that in another video. But there's hand signals for the numbers that Chinese people use quite frequently. So we'll do that in another one. And what else? So 4 is super unlucky. 8 is super lucky. 9. Oh, 9's got an interesting kind of little tidbit of history here. Gao Long is Kowloon. And it's like stands for 9 dragons because way back when they still had 9 hills in Kowloon, they called it the 9 dragons or Gao Long. Gao. So they go Gao Long. So that's the numbers. I hope you enjoyed this video and you'll subscribe to my channel and come back and learn some more. Bye.